So I am Praharsh. I am the current secretary of this group along with Nilesh, who is not here right now with us due to some unfortunate reasons. So, okay, so Agrani, can you please show me the next slide? So, हम लोग like हमें this intro talk is going to talk. We are going to talk about what we do in general and what are our goals, what are our visions, who is with us in this campus, and what are the roles that we offer to you guys, and how can you join us, and what are the works that we have done that benefits the campus and other things. So first of all, our vision. So what is our vision and what are the जो भी हम करते हैं, why do we do, basically that is the why of everything. So our main mission is to make IIT Roorkee the most sustainable campus in the nation or in the world, because there is one metric that is very famous, and it is being around, and it is being used by many universities outside of India to basically have a ranking of sustainability of all campuses around the world. So IIT Roorkee is the one of the few universities in India that takes participation in that. So it has a very decent ranking in water wastage and all. But we have to improve in various metrics like waste management and electricity, reducing the consumption of electricity and reduce the wastage. So it is the one of our vision. And second is research and development. So we are basically in a technology university, so we are basically trying to develop and innovate new technologies that we can deploy in IIT Roorkee itself and make it more sustainable. So yeah, Agrani, can you share? Yeah. So few of our goals that we are trying to achieve in the near future are improve the sustainability metrics of IIT Roorkee, as I told you, and innovation of new technologies, and to innovate in different sustainable technologies. And the third one is making campus Janta more aware about the climate change and all. So yeah, I have already explained these things in the vision itself, why we have set these goals. So yeah, Navya, can you please start about the campus sustainability?
Sure, sir. So we'll start with the campus sustainability. Campus sustainability is basically managing different sectors and areas of campus in a more sustainable and eco-friendly manner. We're actually very proud to tell you that IIT Roorkee is among the first IIT to set up a green committee in order to involve a more sustainable and eco-friendly environment in the campus. So what we do at Eco Group is we pass different proposals, we discuss them with the Green Committee, and then they're approved by them. They make changes, they suggest changes, and finally that approval is implemented all around the campus. Just to give you an example, in 2019, a proposal was made by Eco Group to install different dustbins for different kinds of waste in different areas. So a test, a kind of like test case was passed in Rajendra Bhavan. There is a Bhavan at IIT Roorkee where two different dustbins for organic and inorganic wastes were installed. And the results were actually tremendous. This project is currently under expansion. We have proposed to extend this to all the different bhavans of different of IITR campus, and we are hoping to look forward to it. Next slide, please. Like among all the different proposals, this has been another proposal to install different dustbins for different wastes around all the campus. We have discussed about the organic and inorganic waste which we have installed. This project is currently under expansion. We have also collaborated with a private corporation which handles all the electronic waste which is generated in the campus. These dustbins are, if you come to campus, you'll see these red dustbins installed at different places which handles the electronic wastes. So this is a very innovative idea, and this enables waste segregation at source. So as you can see, the earlier scenario used to be that waste wasn't being segregated and the working conditions were not optimal. Waste was being dumped in open and that caused lots and lots of environmental issues. Like there will be soil pollution, there was water pollution, air pollution due to the degradation, and that caused a lot of havoc. Next slide, please. So what we did at Eco Group, we proposed different solutions for different kinds of problems. We have discussed before that different dustbins for different wastes were installed, and even after installing them, they are processed individually and we make good use of them. The organic waste is actually used to prepare compost for our soil, which is used inside the campus. The inorganic waste is recycled and reused. The e-waste is managed by a private corporation with which we collaborated. So it was a very good initiative and a lot of situations have improved. So currently, the problem we are working on is the cutlery inside the campus. In different canteens, the cutlery used is some of it is non-biodegradable, some of it is non-recyclable, which causes a lot of problems. Like the cutlery used styrofoam or thermocol, they're not good for health or even environment. So we are currently working on that problem, and we have proposed some solutions to the Green Committee. Before proposing the solution, we actually floated a few survey forms to all the students, and these were the results. We asked them different questions that would you prefer to bring your own utensils, and would you prefer if you were being charged for non-biodegradable and non-recyclable utensils and all these surveys were done, and these are the results in front of you. Next slide, please. Yeah, so we propose different solutions. These are very innovative solutions. The solutions were that we will introduce new biodegradable and recyclable cutleries inside the campus. Among biodegradable comes the wooden cutleries, or you can say the cutleries made out of clay, which we usually call in local languages we call them kullad. And among recyclables, the utensils made out of steel and glasses. And another proposal was that customers bring their own cutleries. That would be a good incentive, because if we charge them for non-biodegradable and non-recyclable, it would be a good incentive for people to bring their own utensils. So these are the few proposed solutions that Eco Group presented to the Green Committee. Another project that we are working on currently is the Miyawaki forest. So Miyawaki forest is a self-sustaining forest. What happens is that it requires a maintenance period of around 2 to 3 years, and after that no further maintenance is required. It was a Japanese researcher actually proposed this idea, and we are currently working on this project inside our campus under the guidance of Professor Bhanu Prakash Valanki, and the site has been chosen, the pipeline work has been laid down, and we are hoping that in the near future we will be proudly able to display this as one of our greatest achievements of all time. Vermicomposting. So basically there is a lot of waste in campus which is unaccounted for, which is not actually seen as waste. For example, there are dry leaves, there are fruit waste, vegetable waste. All that waste is kind of like ignored. So what we are working on inside the campus is we are trying to install a small feeder for vermicomposting them, and then the product will be used inside the campus. Like it can be used in soil to increase its nutrients and all. And this project is also currently under work. And another project is, like, the basic issue currently is that in the mess, a lot of food is being wasted. And you will see that food waste actually contributes to a very significant percentage in the greenhouse gas emissions all around the world. So we will be working on this project, and we will be collecting data, and we will be doing surveys, and after optimizing we will propose a solution, and we hope that it will bring proud results. So here is a short quiz for you. Please enjoy, guys. So the question is that X is a country which is situated in Asia whose constitution mandates 60% of area to forests, and it is also carbon negative. Name the country X.
Bhutan.
Bhutan. It's Bhutan.
Bhutan.
Very well, guys. Congratulations to all those who gave the right answers.
Okay, I'll take over from here. Okay, hi everyone, I'm Ashutosh, EPH third year, and I'm the head of the research and development of Eco Group IIT Roorkee. So let's discuss about the most interesting topic for which we have come to IITs basically. The research and development that has been done through this group and throughout this the 2 years of its foundation. So let's see. So as an IIT, like research is one of the integrated part of the whole system, and also we believe that research is some kind of a, although we are in undergraduates, but we believe if we are able to do some kind of even small research also, we will be able to create a new knowledge, and definitely we have the potential to innovate new ideas for a changing world, since we all know like climate change is a very big problem coming around, and they need young minds like us to innovate some ideas for that. So I'll discuss a few of the projects that we will be working on in near future, and although we have started working on those. So let's see, next slide please. Okay, so the first one is the wastewater treatment using algae. So what happens in the wastewater treatment plants, algae is some kind of microorganism that feeds on the toxic chemicals that are present in wastewater, like phosphorus, nitrate, and some like that, and they feed on those chemicals and enhances their growth. So we thought, let's use this fact for our benefit. So what we can do is, in the wastewater drainage system, we will put the algae, and they will feed on the wastewater chemicals, and furthermore they will develop, and basically they will grow, which can be used to make biofuels and manufacturing food supplements used in various dairy farms and so. So as of now, we are doing the technical and economic analysis. Basically, what's the feasibility of this project? Like in any research and development project, we need to consider, and even the projects Navya had talked about earlier, the cutlery one, the solid waste management. Like we need to do the proper economic analysis and the feasibility analysis in the span of 5 years, like how it will gonna turn out. Just not, you can't have an instant result based on your ideas. It should be a long-term plan. So right now we are studying these aspects of this project, like how we can do the wastewater treatment using algae. So also in return, like it will reduce the energy requirement for treating wastewater. Like algae is a natural treater of the wastewater, so obviously a lot of energy has gone down during the wastewater treatment, like all the mechanics, machineries and all. So here it's a win-win situation. Like we are using algae for wastewater treatment, and in supplement we are using that for its growth that we can further use for biofuels. Okay, next slide. Yeah, so this is also a project related to sustainable agriculture. Basically, as you know, like agriculture has gone a very large, a significant amount in our GDP. So let's talk about a bit. So what we are trying to do, like we are trying to optimize the uses of resources that happens in agriculture. What happens in most part of our agriculture are in rural areas, and the farmers also don't have that much knowledge about the technology. So what happens ki, they overuse the resources most of the time. Like let's say water is like, it's been significantly spent out in agriculture parts because they don't have the analysis of their agricultural fields. So what we are trying to do here ki, let's say we consider agricultural field, and we will analyze the data, and how much area it has been left out, and then we can direct our water supply as well as the fertilizer supply for a smart system basically. Like let's consider a big farmland, and we will and water is required in a certain area, So generally what happens to as of now, they will pump out water for the whole field, and there will be just excess water in the field, and this is like a huge amount of wastage of water. So what we'll do through our optimized system, we will find out the exact place where the fertilizer or the water is needed, and we will do the directed supply. So basically it will be an IoT, Internet of Things enabled system, in which we will have sensors to collect data. Through those sensors data, we will be able to identify like at what place, what is the requirement of which type of resources at a certain place. And in advancement to that also, in fact, we can also monitor the crop health through the sensor data. The sensor data will basically contain the pH of the soil, the atmospheric condition around it, temperature, humidity, moisture, and all those things. And here one great application of artificial intelligence here is that we can develop weather patterns to kind of predict in near future how much resources will be required and at what place basically. So it's a very good project in prospect of the rising of artificial intelligence and sensor based technologies. Next one. Okay, so this is kind of hot topic right now, electric vehicle system, like everyone is talking about, since Elon Musk is also talking about it. So, EVs are very popular on social media, but when it comes to ground reality, most people are, kind of reluctant to buy that because it'll run on electric batteries. So people are worried about charging stations basically, and how will the battery last. Let's say for longer trips, they are not using electric vehicles for that. So we thought of let's create a portable charging system for all the electric vehicle owners. Let's say if I'm going on a trip of 500 kilometers and there are no charging stations nearby and my battery got drained out. So what now I have in my bag is the portable charging system. It will contain of basically another battery and a control system that will charge your battery in a very portable manner, and then you can travel with along with that. So there are many technicalities involved in that also. Maybe you can talk about that. Next slide. Okay. So another one is the optimal data center cooling. So it's a project, kind of immersed out of my own experience. Since working in artificial intelligence has been able to reduce the carbon footprint of many processes by making it efficient and very feasible. Like, but what's its own characterization of AI? We get to see that even artificial intelligence have more carbon footprint than many of the fossil fuel cars emission, obviously. But still the application of AI is in positive, since it has reduced carbon footprint much rather than it has emitted. So here we are trying to sort out okay, let's do the situation better. We can reduce the AI system. So AI system consists of basically remote data centers. In the remote areas there are data center where servers, hard drives are present, and all the research labs work on those systems remotely. So for that, due to the influx of data and all the mechanisms, the all the data hardware and requires a cooling system basically to cool down the system in order to not to have defected. So the cooling process basically takes a lot of electricity out of it. So we are here trying to optimize that system of cooling. Okay, we will build a control system that will took many factors, what is the influx of data, what is the outside temperature, and then it will optimize a process in which minimum amount of electricity will be used for data center cooling. So in other way, we are again reducing our carbon footprint, and also if that electricity can be produced by renewable, it's win-win situation. So okay, next slide. Yeah, so an interesting turn of round came around here in during last year. Green Inu, it's basically a startup incubated under or funded by the University of Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. So they approached us regarding a research project based on clothing sustainability. So the project was something like this: ki, we need to help the small sustainable brands of clothing to widen their market and to get the multiple profits on their clothes. Because right now, what's happening in clothing industry, the the contribution of clothing waste is around 10% of the total solid waste. So what we are trying to solve here, ki how we can use the clothing waste for our benefit, like turn the waste into a resource. The main concept is this here. So what we did, we did the consumer analysis. We did the post analysis of all the discarded clothes from um, numerous donations, or let's say many consumer survey forums, to extract information that can help grow the businesses of small sustainable brands. Because all these sustainable brands are not entirely based on profit, but for a noble cause. So we need to help them get out the resource from the waste. So exactly what we did there. Next slide. Okay, so I'll just follow through line by line. So in the starting phase, what we did, a lot of data has been collected from donations and the survey forms we did on many people in Canada as well as here also. Based on that, we created what data can be used, to bring that into, to convert them into a resource. What dynamics we can do in that. So then we kind of researched on what relations we can build between the data. Like let's say a has been used for 3 months and other clothes has been used for 6 months. So we will promote that quality of clothes which has been used for 6 months. So these types of data analysis has been done on over 50 or 60 data points that we have collected. Obviously, it will take a lot of time to name all those. So you can understand what we did there. And then also we created a machine learning model, like the data we got. So what other additional thing we did, we created a machine learning model that will basically predict what will be the resale value of your discarded clothes. Let's say you discarded your clothes or donated to a recycler. Now we have given the a choice to the recycler that he can calculate the resale value, the optimum resale value of its cloth, and then further sell. So in a way, sustainable brands are making multiple profits out of the same product. So these type of policies we build around there, and we did that project remotely, obviously. So again, next. Yeah, I think. Wait, I'll do that, Cassandra. So, okay, and answer in chat only. Okay. So, there's a company A that claims that the upcoming plant will be the world's largest two-wheeler factory built on a 500 acre in Tamil Nadu. So, you must have know about this company if you are following the trend of. So, can you identify this automobile company?
You can also speak up, it's fine. There's no problem.
Okay, and think of this company in pretext of our theme, like sustainability and all.
Ether.
Sorry?
Ultraviolet.
No. I'm talking about a company, automobile company, two-wheeler automobile.
Ola.
Ultraviolet.
I only know that it has created a vehicle which can maintain its own stability, like it do not fall.
Okay.
Maybe it's that one.
Someone is telling Ola, so that's the right answer. Ola.
So you all must have seen that recently Ola has released its electric two-wheeler vehicle. You can also check on their. They have created basically episodes on that. What were the features of that on YouTube? So you can go over that also. Okay, next slide. I think.
So I'll take it from here.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello guys, myself Shikhar Singh and I'm a second year undergrad in the civil engineering department. So something worthwhile can only be achieved when a major chunk of mass works together on a common goal. So to connect people in the war against climate change and promote sustainability, we spread awareness about current climate change scenario and about how we can make sound choices which would benefit both us and our environment. So how do we do that? Next slide, please. So we conduct various activities like school awareness program in the school, which is in the IIT Roorkee campus, and we organize webinars for the campus janta, and we conduct case study competitions, and we regularly publish blogs and posts on our social media handles to educate the campus janta about such issues. So the school awareness program was conducted in the ABN school, which is inside the IIT Roorkee campus, and we equipped our younger generation with sustainability values and how they can contribute towards a more sustainable future. And we also discussed current climate change related issues with them and how they can and what little they can do to tackle these issues. Next slide, please. So here's a question for you all. So, an Indian environmentalist from Honali village in Karnataka, in 2020, the government of India honored her with the award, the country's fourth highest civilian award. Tell the name of the famous personality and the award described above.
बोलो भाई आंसर्स
तुलसी गौड़ा.
क्या
You can give a guess also if you
Tulsi
don't know the
Gowda.
right answer.
क्लियर नहीं
Award.
Tulsi Gowda.
Or Padma Shri.
Okay.
I know she
That's
is
it.
around 100 years old. I don't remember her name exactly.
Sali Murada.
ओके और किसी को
तुलसी गौड़ा.
ओके
Tulsi Gowda.
ओके और किसी को भी बोलना है क्या और कोई रहता है क्या ठीक है लाइक यू कैन रिवील द आंसर नितिन now.
So yes, most of you answered correctly. So she has planted more than 30,000 saplings and look after the nurseries of the forest department. She is also known as the Encyclopedia of Forest for her ability to recognize the mother tree of every species of tree. So even in the challenging times like COVID, our campus group didn't stop working and we conducted a webinar series titled Sustainability Series for the campus janta. So, and in this series, various virtual series, and in this virtual series, various lectures were given on topics like sustainability, waste management, and climate change and its policies, and from eminent speakers. And we highly encourage the students to attend these webinars. So here's a list of the honorable speakers that were a part of the sustainability series. So first among the list is Mrs. Saloni Goyal. She's the climate change specialist at Niti Aayog, and she gave a lecture on role of waste management in climate change. Now, the second issue was sustainability in industries, and a lecture on this topic was given by Mr. Prabodha Acharya, and he's the Chief Sustainability Officer, JSW firm, and he was also the Senior Vice President of Aditya Birla Group. Now, the last lecture was given on the topic waste management in India, and it was delivered by Mr. Ashish Sachdeva, who's the founder and president of a NGO titled Green Dream Foundation. So, a webinar on ESG and climate finance was also conducted by us in the month of July, and it was presided over by Mrs. Namita Vikas. She is the founder and managing partner at Octus ESG LLP, and she is also a renowned speaker at UN.
Shikhar, wait, someone has muted you.
Shikhar, unmute yourself.
Yes, so So a webinar on ESG and climate finance was organized by us in the month of July, and it was presided over by Mrs. Namta Vikas, who's the founder and managing director at Octus ESG LLP, and she's also a renowned speaker at UN General Assembly, and she gave us excellent insights on sustainable finance, and she also publishes various articles in journals and newspapers like Economic Times. And under her able guidance, Yes Bank launched India's first green bonds, for which they were applauded. Next slide, please. So we regularly organize case study competitions for students to develop solutions related to real world problems, which helps the campus janta to brainstorm and learn about new notions and innovations related to our environment. So the latest one being Wasteothon, which was a case study competition on the issue of waste management at IIT Roorkee. We also got to learn of a great number of new ideas like bottle crushing machine and waste segregation, etc. Next slide, please. So it was a splendid opportunity for participants to showcase their innovative skills and critical thinking abilities, and winners were awarded with a cash prize of rupees 6,000. So here's another quiz for you guys. PVC is a very toxic form of plastic. So what is the full form of PVC?
Polyvinyl chloride.
Yeah. So you guys clearly remember chemistry in everyday life. Next slide, please. Yeah. So yes, so we regularly post on our social media handles and publish blogs related to climate change scenario and events like COP26, and also technologies that are helping us move towards a more sustainable future, like smart dustbins and ocean and wave energy, and the terms like net zero and carbon neutrality. So make sure that you check our social media handles regularly to stay updated on these issues.
Thank you, Shikhar. So now I will be taking on. So, so as you guys have seen, like what we do and what we have done and what our vision and goal is. So accordingly, we recruit people, and you guys will also be recruited soon. So I will request you guys to follow our social media pages that Himanshi and Astuti have been sharing this whole time in the chat section. So please check them out and follow us so that you can be aware about the recruitments. So as of now, we have been recruiting in the following departments or the verticals as you call them, in the like R&D, which yeah, Ashutosh has been heading over since a year, and he has explained all the works that we have been doing, and we do similar stuff as well. And in the design vertical, as Shikhar showed you that we make posts and all. So you guys will be working on the post, and we have you can work also on the product design part as well, like web design, and we also work on different apps that Campus Janta uses. So you can also work on that designer part as well. And WebD, as I told you, that we also develop our website, and also you can also take part and develop our website to increase your skills. And ML and AI, that Ashutosh has already explained, that we work pretty much with ML and AI to optimize and automate things. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, so outreach team is another one, other thing that we have been looking to expand, that whose work will be basically to gather various speakers around the world who can enlighten our campus janta and other people that we have been targeting on to know more about climate change, and also to like publicize more of our work and market our work so that more people can know about us and follow us. And content team, as you can see, like we also publish blogs on Medium. I would suggest to read them. Ashutosh or Astuti or Himanshi, can you please share our Medium page as well so that they can have a look. So you can also see the Medium page of ours, and you can see the different blogs that we publish on different topics. And software development, as I told you, that we also do apps, the app development that Campus Janta uses for different sustainability procedures and works. Yeah, next slide, please. So our future plans. So most of our future plans and futures initiatives, not future initiative, but future plans on research and development have been already shown by Ashutosh, that we will be working pretty much with AI, and we will be reducing on net zero stuff. And on we are also thriving daily to like make campus more sustainable and make it more towards net zero in terms of water and all, water, carbon emissions and all. And as I told you that we have been working on research and development, so we are also trying to deploy them on IIT Roorkee itself, so that make our IIT Roorkee sustainable itself. So yeah, and also to make Campus Janta more aware about the climate change stuff, so that they can also participate with us and help us to make the IIT Roorkee more sustainable together. We are also requesting you guys to actively participate in our initiatives and all, so that we can together make IIT Roorkee more sustainable. Next slide, please. So yeah, why should you join? Why should you join us? So can anyone answer me, like, what do you think in any benefit of joining us? Do you guys think any benefit of joining us? Like any benefit that you can see? Would anyone be interested to answer that, or should I answer it? Okay, so let me मतलब hints तो सारे तुम्हारे सामने ही हैं, पर फिर भी like, so all the companies, like, as you मतलब you guys must have heard of net zero goals that countries are announcing. So along with the countries, many corporates are also working on their own net zero goals, so that they can reach the net zero goal, because according to the IPCC we have to reach net zero by 2050. Otherwise there will be more climate change, more global warming than 1.5 degree, which is devastating. So many companies like Apple and all, they are Infosys and Google are all working on net zero goals, or have already reached net zero. And like, as you can see, the LSE becomes the first carbon neutral verified university. So LSE is one of the universities of London, which has recently reached net zero, and it is one of the most prominent universities in the world. So we are also trying same for the IIT Roorkee. Ashutosh, can you please continue from here? There is someone on.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so basically, what's in it for you to join, So as we have explained all the work we do and what the research and development have been done and what are the verticals there are to, work for and hone your skills. So it's the same, like you can basically improve your any kind of knowledge. Like let's say you want to do design and you want to do development, or you want to do software development more specifically, or artificial intelligence, machine learning. So you can integrate all the skills with the goal of sustainability. As I have also shown you, the projects have been done, you can integrate any kind of skill into these projects. So also with this kind of startup, with this kind of group you will be working on, you can excel your chances basically in foreign institution for research, where you can show that I have been working in such kind of campus groups and I have been engaged in such kind of activities. And similarly, your innovation index will be higher. Basically, daily engaging in these kind of activities and working regularly can boost or enhance your innovative skills and research skills basically, or any kind of skill. And the foremost advantage of being in a campus group is to learn the collaborative work culture, and how can you work in team. You learn all those things, and that's the same for every campus group. And here also, we people having diverse skills are present in your seniors here as well, so you can learn from them as a group or a team. And being able to work on real-time projects in campus, that will give an edge over strategy making based on real-time observation from the campus. And how do you manage people based on your project? Let's say if you are doing a campus project, you have to do observation in the campus, like what's the issue. You will have to manage with all the people that have been coming along in the project and similar things like that. So you'll be a good people manager basically. Next. Yeah, so the recruitment process,
I will take care.
okay, sure.
Yeah. So for the recruitment process, we will be shortly, like in a month or so, we will be rolling out forms of our recruitments. We will be asking some questions from you guys so that we can better understand you and find better match with your skill set and our needs. So we will be shortlisting on that form submission that you have been filling, and after that we will be taking some rounds of interviews so that we can better understand you people, and then we will be hiring some guys that are some of you might be from the person that are sitting here. So yeah, next slide please. So yeah, quiz section will be taken care by Nitin. Nitin, please.
Hi everyone, I am Nitin from MSP third year. So now we are going to proceed with quiz. So it will be a normal interactive quiz. So don't be shy, and if you don't know answer, you can guess. So when we were in the campus, we gave chocolate on each correct answer. But as we know, as we all are online, so we can't do that. So what we can do is that we will mention your name on our Instagram story, and you can answer the question by unmuting yourself, or you can also put your answer in chat box. But in my opinion, prefer to speak. Okay, so here we go. So first question. So the question is, global conference related to climate change X ended on 12th November 2021. So this is a conference hosted by Y country, and the president of that conference is the cabinet minister of Y. So you have to identify the X, Y, and Z.
COP26.
Okay.
Y is UK.
And Z.
Boris Johnson.
Boris Johnson.
No.
Alok Sharma.
Yeah, so that's the right answer. So X is COP26, and the country hosted that COP26 is UK, and president is Alok Sharma. Nicely answered. Yeah. So another question is that some country outside the United States still use chemical X to control mosquitoes, which has many ill effect on environment. So you have to identify the chemical name of that chemical X.
DDT.
Okay. Anyone?
DDT. Guys.
So that's the right answer. DDT, diphenyl trichloroethane. Yeah, so another question is like our Prime Minister recently in COP26 committed that India will be net zero by the end of which year? So you have to tell the year.
2050.
2070.
2070.
Okay.
2070.
Okay.
2030.
So the right answer is 2070. Another question. Next. So next question is like Swedish environmental activist G is the named Times 2019 Person of the Year for her climate change activism, including urging fellow students to rally for the environment and speaking forcefully at a famous summit C. So you have to tell the name of G and C.
G is
Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg.
And name of that summit.
Friday for Future.
एक बार एक करके बोलो तब समझ में आएगा कौन क्या बोल रहा है.
UN Climate Action Summit.
Okay.
Friday for Future.
So the answer is Greta Thunberg, and the summit name is United Nations Climate Action Summit. So a chemical found in untreated sewage wastewater, which causes froth in rivers like Yamuna. So name the chemical. Which chemical is that?
Phosphorus.
Phosphorus.
Okay.
Phosphorus.
Phosphorus.
ये भानु सर ने बताया था क्या?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so next, so the headquarter of United Nations Environmental Program (UNEP) located at City X, and X is also the name used by a character for the heist in the famous web series Money Heist.
Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Nanokyo.
एक सही आंसर आया था बीच में। गेस ट्राई करते रहो।
Amsterdam.
गूगल मत करना कोई।
ट्राई करते रहो।
Berlin.
Rio.
एक ही सही आंसर आया था बस।
उसकी डेथ हो जाती है। हाँ, अभी तक जो हुआ है।
Nairobi.
हाँ। So the right answer is Nairobi. And so yeah, here is the image, and so this image refers to
Chipko movement.
Chipko
movement.
Shared by Emma Watson.
next. So you have to identify this famous college related to forest studies, which is located in
FRI. Forest Research of
Forest Institute of Technology.
Okay, so the right answer is
ये उत्तराखंड में।
देहरादून में है ये।
हाँ,
देहरादून, हाँ।
शूटिंग हुई थी। Okay. Next.
ठीक है, like I taking care from here. So as you guys have been informed about our recruitment process and what we do. So if you guys like resonate with what we do and like to know more about us, you can follow us on the chat links that have been shared by Astuti or Himanshi. Can you please share once again, Astuti and Himanshi, so that they can click on that. So I would suggest you guys to go there and follow us and know more about us. And you can also share your views on our Insta handle and Facebook handle. We can respond there, and you can also comment your views and thoughts on our post so that we can clear your doubts if you have any. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah. So that was it from our side. And if you have any questions, you can ask here right now.